I'm not ashamed to say that I've had a past that, a lot of people would steer clear of. And that gives me drive for the future. It makes me appreciate the things that I have every day. It makes me appreciate the people that are around me.
What's going on, everybody? Today we have a client that turned also into a friend of mine, and his name is Thomas. It was cool to see somebody have a past and be able to change it and elevate and put themselves where you're at now.
Right now, I am an operations manager, so I run pretty much the day-to-day business for Fortune 500 companies. It's been a hell of a ride, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
What made you sit back like, okay, I'm about to change from here on out?
Getting out of jail. That's simple.
For you though, like that was it?
For me?
'Cause some people love it. Let's be honest, you know what I mean?
This was October 22nd, 2011. I got out, and I gave myself a long, hard look in the mirror and realized that, my first day out, where I feel like it's my first day, the world that I left when I went in was still moving. And so I was like, man, I'm so far behind now. I was like 26, 27. I'm like, yeah, this shit got to change.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, I never looked back. Everything was a step toward my future. Me, the woman that I'm with now, she was around for that, and she's also a big component of why I am the way I am. But that moment of looking myself at, like, I failed myself, changed everything.
Yeah. And something that we've talked about too is like the changes you got to make around yourself, right? And the people you got to keep around, and departure, you know? That's something that, I've struggled, right? Because I held on for a while, and
we talked about
too.
That.
So like, how has that been on your end?
I mean, this is an old cliche, and everybody says it all the time, but everybody can't go.
Yeah.
Some people, and they're near and dear to my heart. I got friends, the ones that are going to watch this. Some of them, they know I'm talking about them. They're there for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
And if your growth doesn't align with mine, I'm going to have to love you from over there.
Yeah.
So, it's difficult. And sometimes, when you go back, and a lot of people want to go back and hang out with those friends, that's cool, but there's levels. And I need them to know that there were steps here. I didn't wake up yesterday and fall into this life.
Right.
This was strategic. At that day, like I said, I got out of jail. Everything has been planned.
Yeah.
Every moment. You see it, you do it.
Right.
And some people just let the day come to them, and that's...
Yeah, I can't... I at first when that... You know how I am. You know the way I think. I'm way different. I'm realizing, and one of the things that I learned, we talked about it before, is just like you have to let it go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't try to force in a way to help somebody out when they don't want to be helped out. Yeah. Even if it's family, friends, or a coworker, or anything like that.
I think at some point you have to be selfish. You got to put yourself first, and it's not to diminish them,
right?
But it's really to elevate yourself. So, every day is a struggle, and in those moments, especially when you like, oh man, I want to help out, bro, or moms ain't doing the best, or my boy over here, he's going through a thing. It's cool to have those feelings. I won't say cool. It's helpful, or it's necessary to have those feelings, but it's also necessary to understand why.
To be realistic, right? Yeah.
Why I can't do that. Why I can't go back there, because I'm just putting myself back in trouble. I'm walking myself backwards to me, backwards is back in that cell. And I want to, never again.
Like I always tell people, it's like you're in a hole already. You're trying to dig yourself out. And then you're digging yourself even further down, because you can't even dig yourself out of it yet. Yeah. You're trying to pile other people's stuff. I mean, all you're doing is just digging yourself even deeper and deeper and deeper. And people look at it as like, oh, you're being selfish, but it's not like a bad selfish, or you're being this and that,
You're prioritizing the things that matter to you.
Yeah.
You're prioritizing the people that matter to you. You're prioritizing things that enrich your life, that makes, every day worth being a part of.
Yeah.
If I'm walking around taking on everybody else's problems, I'm not making room for my own. I'm definitely not making room for the things that matter to me, my children, my wife, my business, my goals. So sometimes, like, hey, you got to handle that your own.
Yeah.
We all got the same 24 hours. So
figure it out, right? Like I'll be saying, everybody gotta figure it out.
Right.
So, yeah, man. So what's going on? What's new? What's
new?
The goal this year?
Oh, 2025. I really want to focus on spending more time with my boys. They're at that age.
Yeah.
You know,
same, man.
They're 9 and 11. And I also got the 21-year-old.
Yeah.
So like really spending time bonding with them. I think I did a real good job with the 21-year-old, but that was, when I was coming up, I was still doing stupid things in his youth. So fixing that and repairing that and purposefully making time for them, showing them that they're important, showing them that things are available. And that's the goal. That and staying employed, finding time for the things that I love. I've gotten back into actually a friend tapped me to produce some music for him.
Oh yeah, so, you back at it?
Yeah,
okay.
Zach, actually.
Okay.
He tapped me. He gave me some ideas, and I'm putting together a package for him.
That's dope.
So hopefully we get to release that.
Because you put that on hold for a while, right? Because I know you mentioned it. So you live close to where I grew up. You were in Franklin.
Yeah. So
I was in Middletown. I moved to Liberty, like living wise, and then like a year or two later, you moved to Liberty right down the street. Not even like we figured that out.
We're like a block away from each other now. Yeah.
So like we have made those transition, and you kind of like put certain things on hold.
Yeah. So for 2 years, I didn't record. I had all my stuff in boxes.
Yeah.
And that was my time to assess what life was going to be, because music was everything. It was. I mean, that was how I was feeding my family. It was.
See, I didn't know that. That's dope.
It was. I mean, of course, I went to college for engineering
right.
But that's what I wanted to do. That was like, this is my purpose.
Yeah.
So I put that on hold, and my wife was like showing me that, without that, I was more available for other things. I'm like, this is cool too. I'm watching my children grow. Me and her communicating more. So I put it on hold, and now I do it when I feel like doing it.
Yeah.
And my money's coming from a more stable place, because you never know where that next royalty check is gonna come in, or maybe a label is gonna send you a check to produce some stuff. And again, now I do contract work, so you might go 6 months without, and that's no way to live. So a lot of things have changed. The way I attack the day, the way I see myself managing the things that I want to do throughout the day makes me happy. Those things have changed. So yes, I'm still happy with music, but I'm happy as hell with
your life.
Yeah, it's steady.
Yeah,
I don't have to wake up and wonder where my next meal's coming from. I don't have to you're not at that grind stage no more. Like I was in that grind stage for 10 years, right? Like, and we talked about it, right? Like 10, 12 hours cutting hair. I didn't know you was doing it that big either.
Yeah. Just working. My kids were young too. They're, toddlers and newborns and stuff like that. And I'm in a similar position right now. Like I had to figure my life out the last year and a half. With the kids, they're 8 and 10 now, and like I want to be there now. You know what I mean? Not that I wasn't there and I didn't want to be there, but I'm like, I sacrificed the time to put them in the in the positions they're at now, right? Similar to you, that's what I'm saying. Like, we move from different backgrounds, but to help our kids, give them a better future now, you know?
My move I grew up in Dayton and I spent some time in California, but the move to Franklin to me was like the level up. That was like, I'm away from the chaos and everything.
Yeah.
And I started building a business there, and I realized that a lot of the people that I was dealing with in Dayton, they were willing to make that drive to Franklin. And then I started thinking, I'm not far enough.
Okay.
And it was good because business was good. Again, I'm still recording music, but I realized I'm not far enough. So then I remember being in the shop one day, and there was a guy you were cutting before me, and you were talking about your neighborhood and how dope it was. It was like, it leads up to my house. And, I was like, yes. And I'm thinking like, I gotta get on that level. And I can't remember who you were talking to, but this was at the old shop.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah. And so when I moved to Westchester, I didn't know, like I said,
we were down the street. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm out here.
Yeah.
So it feels good, but again, and that was a purposeful goal. I heard something. I wanted that. And I'm like, I know we doing all right.
Yeah, so, man. We've been blessed. We've been blessed.
And
and that's something like I never thought I would be where I'm at in different ways,
man.
right? From like lifestyle, to what I'm able to provide, stuff like that. And that's where we have a lot of similarities, right? Like we never thought we could be at the level we're at now. And it's crazy just looking back at it the last 10 years of you being a client, seeing you grow and develop. And then I didn't even know what you just mentioned. I didn't even know that was that process through your head. You know what I mean? And it's like people always like get on me sometimes, like, you always talk too much or you always share too much. I'm like, no, like my whole thing is to be able to inspire you. If you take offense to it, that's your fault.
Your problem, yeah.
That's not my problem. You know, I'm trying to just show you that I'm able to do it. I came from a small island of I think it's like 3 million people.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, you know what I mean? Small island, 2 Middletown. To now be
even smaller.
To now be, where we at now. And then same thing with you. I've been able to see that growth. You know what I mean? You've been in Dayton. I don't even know
So I grew up in Dayton View.
On the west side?
Yeah, west side, Dayton View.
To Franklin to now, and also being a leadership where the role that you're in right now, it's cool because we get to talk about those things too sometimes. Like
bottom up grind too.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I never thought I'd be giving corporate people advice in a sense, you know what I mean? And we've talked about things. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna use that. I'm like, I didn't know you were gonna use that, but all right, you know what I mean?
did. I went to work and I had to let somebody go, and then I had to use that speech to motivate.
Yeah.
And it's funny, as I was telling y'all what I was waiting for this, I was reading, and I'm reading Wisdom of the Bullfrog.
Okay.
And it's about that thing, like leadership. Not everybody can lead, and there's reasons why. And the part I'm at.
Why is that?
Everybody can't lead because not everybody is really willing to face their own shortcomings. It's, oh yeah, I can do this thing, but where are you at times of adversity? I don't have a problem telling people about my past because that was a part of me and it's built me to who I am. What you can get from that is, I've learned that lesson. I'm not going to repeat that lesson. So people have seen that struggle and they've put me in positions to lead other leaders. That's what I do every day. But as far as how that parallels to the book is, when you are in a position where people are looking at you and they're looking for guidance, it's easy to point out where you're falling short. They never see your struggles. They never see the things that it takes to win. And that I wear on my sleeve. I will tell you, hey man, 15 years ago, I was all messed up.
Yeah.
And all it takes is a purpose, one purpose.
Yeah.
And that can materialize into a life.
Yeah. And I've felt that in the other side of things, right? Like in the sense of like, people have seen me grow and glow up to be this guy, right? But they've never seen all this.
Them long nights.
The stress, like, oh, it looks so, you're so blessed. And I'm like, you don't realize like all the stress I carry. I always break it down to a lot of people that I really, have a good relationship with, right? Like in my line of field, right? I cut 20 people a day. That's 20 conversations.
Yeah.
That's 20 personalities, right? Then I have 20 other people that work at the shop. Again, 20 conversations, 20 other things, right? I have to deal with that, almost every day. And then go home.
And then you got
and then wife, be the dad. And then be the husband. Yeah. And like they see like all this stuff is like easy to do. And like, it's so, there's a lot of stress behind that people don't get to see what we do as leaders, right? And it's like, I don't see how people don't see that sometimes. They just see the glory side of things, you know what I mean?
I think that goes back to that value of $1 and the price of everything, that people don't understand the sacrifice that comes with being blessed up.
Yeah.
They don't, the nights of prayer.
Yeah.
They don't see those moments where you want to just give it all up. It'd be easier if I did that.
Yeah.
And again, I think as society, we've structured our way for people to see our wins, but never really see our
losses.
Yeah, our losses.
Yeah.
But that's just like, but that's not my goal is to show you that everything comes at a price.
Yeah.
And oftentimes most people don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
It's so easy. Oh man, I'm just gonna lay back in bed. I get up at noon. No.
Yeah.
And how I've accomplished in them like 6 hours that you've been asleep. Like I'm up 6 o'clock every morning getting to it. And
Yeah.
that right there separates being
So I wake
blessed.
up at 5. Right?
So, you trying to one up me?
No. So I wake up at 5 is the same reason. Before I used to get up right at the time I needed, and I always felt rushed.
Right.
I'm like, all right, I got to change something here. And I realized the more time I gave to myself in the beginning of the day, right? Do workout, do affirmations, do meditation, read, eat right, drink what I need to drink, have time for myself. I call it my selfish moment. So for the first hour and a half to 2 hours of the day, that's what I do.
That's just
But I got to
for
make
you.
a sacrifice to do that in the morning because I got to give to the world the next 10, 12 hours.
And that might come at a cost of, dinner time. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I don't get to watch my favorite show.
Exactly.
And again, that's the separation between you and giving time to yourself to build and everybody else. And that just, it sucks.
And it's just,
It sucks to explain.
yeah, because everybody don't see that part. You think I want to wake up at 5 every day?
Nah.
The reality is no. Do you want to wake up at 6?
No, never.
But if we want to be able to build a certain type of lifestyle, certain type of the dreams that we have to make certain sacrifices,
So let me ask you this. So in those moments where you wake up at 5, do you ever stop and like look at your wife and kids while they still sleep?
Oh, yeah.
I do that all the
Yeah,
time.
I do that every day. Like,
that's why I'm like, sleep
before I
is
leave
for
the
children.
house, I always creep the door. It's creepy, right? But it's not creepy
It's
because
not. It's
you're a
just-
dad.
yeah.
I just I'm like, okay, they're good.
Yeah.
Boom, they good, and I head out. Like even if sometimes I run late, it's part of I'm human.
Right.
Sometimes I run late, not too much late, but But I make sure I do that every day.
Yeah, it's
I don't care if I'm
reminder
running late. You know what I
Before
mean?
you step out into the world, who you're doing it for.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I got to protect while I'm out there. So, yeah, I do that too. I was just curious. I do that in that early morning because I dread getting up that early.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, I work hard so they can sleep in.
Exactly.
So she don't have to move that much. So the boys ain't got to,
Exactly.
they ain't fighting for blankets like I did when I was little,
Right.
stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
curious.
same, like I remember when we first moved to Middletown, like we had an apartment, but we didn't have anything there. We slept on the floor with blankets. That's it.
Been there.
You know what I mean? For a while. And like days like that is what remind me why I'm doing this for them now. You know what I mean? Making sure they got their own room, their own house, all these other things.
Right.
But yeah, that's I do the same thing, man. It's crazy. It's crazy that somebody else do it too.
That's why I was looking for that is, am I weird for doing that? Like thinking of like the bad times to make the good times better. But it's that whole, you can't enjoy the sunshine without the rain. But
Yeah.
like I try to take the moments to like live in the sunshine. I tell my wife this, like whenever we go on a vacation, I'll sit out in the sun. And she's like, why do you like do that? You burn. I'm like, sometimes like in the winter when I'm super duper cold,
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like that sun is in my bones. Like I get warmed up thinking about it.
Yeah.
And those are the moments that I'm cherishing and I remember them because, to her or anybody, that might seem basic or boring. But to me, that is what's motivated me to get through a cold winter.
So it's funny you say that. Every January, what do I do now?
You leave.
Where?
You go to Puerto Rico.
Right? And I've been doing that for what, 3-4 years now.
Yeah, I've been missing you the months, man.
So the first time I did it, I was going through a bad situation mentally. Like I was just in a dark spot. I was overwhelmed, overstressed because I had Middletown jumping. I was doing the house calls, jumping. But again, 12, 13 hours every day. And I was still building the Liberty location.
Okay, yeah, you were telling me about that, yeah.
And it was so much going on in so many different ways, from the build out to the people in the business, the people outside the business, just so much. So I was like, you know what? Once I get done with Liberty, I am taking a vacation. I really never took a long week vacation with the family like this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out there and we went to Puerto Rico, but outside of Puerto Rico, it's a smaller island. We went out there and I did that. And like it literally made my, like everything just went away.
Yeah.
So every time we go back now, like I do it every time.
A day to just do nothing. Everybody want to run around. Let's see this, see that. I'm like, nah, man, let's just chill.
But that's how my life been for 10 years. Just run, run. And I never realized I needed that,
Remember that conversation we had about Ohio winters? That you don't get to see the sun for like weeks, days. And it's like, it's too much gray. And you had just got back from, I think you were planning to go to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man, because Sarah wanted to go somewhere. And I was like, I don't want to go. But I remember looking outside the window and it was just overcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Kevin was right, man. I ain't seen the sun in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We got to go somewhere where the clouds part.
Yeah.
And I took that with me, and we ended up going to Florida for like the 3rd time that year, just because I was just tired of seeing the gray. So,
and it's something like, I think I'm weird on this. Like, I pay attention to everything around me, like myself, the earth, everything. And like, I don't know if people just take moments to do that. I don't think they really do. And that's something that I try to express to my clientele sometimes. Just like, just take the time, man. Just sit back. I didn't do it for a long time. I was wondering why I was stressed and this and that. And it's like, cause I wasn't in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't do that a lot.
Not a lot of people are in the moment. Yeah. And so, it's hard to as well, because like you said, things are swirling around you. There's always a bill that needs to be paid or a kid that needs to be fed.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a person that's enjoying life in that moment, because you're thinking about all the things that have to happen or just happen or can happen, could happen. Yeah. So I find myself doing that, especially when I'm in big open spaces, like this big open space. I'll stop. Yeah. And this is a cool experience right here. So yeah. And you take those in and you keep them with you. I wish I could like document them, but I hate being on those phone people.
Yeah, right.
But I try to lock them in.
I try to do both now. Like, I used to overdo it and be on the phone the whole time. But when you're on the phone, you're not soaking in the reality.
Right. You're just capturing
what I do
you think
now.
Everybody else would like.
So what I do now is I take it in for myself first. So I watch everything, and then I come back, and I remember I got to come back and take this picture over here or do this real quick. And just be able to put two in one, basically. And it's helped me out, like, because again, I did both. Like, I overdid it with the film and pictures. Then I like not do it at all. I'm like, man, I wish I had a picture.
I still do it. Yeah, I'm more cognizant of what I share with people. Like, I don't have a big social media presence anymore. And people are like, oh man, like they'll see me pull up in a new car, or I'll pull out the 63 and they'll be like, oh man, when you cop that? I'm like, man, I had this for like 3 years. Oh, you won't post. This is for me,
right?
You know, and I tell my wife that shit. Well, like when we had our kids, I was like, these are moments for us. I'm like, if you want to do that, cool, but these are our moments. And if I'm sharing them or they become too diluted with other people's opinions, then they're not real anymore. It's not me being in the moment. It's me allowing everybody else to share this thing with me when it's just for me. So a lot of times, like I said, you'll see me stop standing in like a park. It looks kind of weird. And I know it's weird, but that's me. Like, I don't know if I've ever looked at it like me being in tune with the earth, but it's just definitely me being in the moment.
Being in the moment. Yeah.
Being in that moment.
And that's what we need more of, I feel like. Everybody's just in a rush, head down. One thing I see a lot right now is the kids, when they come in, they're waiting, they're just head down, just on the phone.
Stop that.
I'm like, man, like, just be in the moment sometimes.
We just had this conversation when we got our haircut last weekend.
Yeah.
And I was like, the kids is on punishment. And they, but they're the best to each other when they don't have those distractions.
So it's funny you said that. You know, you told me last week they're on punishment, right? Guess who's on punishment right now? My son.
Is on punishment?
My son is.
What king do?
He just, man, testing the waters right now, you know? So same thing. I cut everything out. All technology, TV, everything. And I've noticed like the conversations, the relationships getting better. Just everything. I'm like, this is it right here. You know?
To me, that's one of the best parts about parenthood. I don't know, everybody's watching this. Watching a child grow, the dopest thing you can ever do in life is watch them become a person. Because when they were like 2 and 3, I would say it to my wife joking, like, they're not people yet, like, you know, and stuff like that. But watching them become, you know, have their own likes, dislikes, mannerisms,
the personality, right?
The personality development to me is like the coolest thing. Like, you know, and they'll say something to you, where you learn that at, you know?
And that's what I love about cutting hair and cutting your kids now, right? Like, you have one that's like super outgoing, right?
Yeah,
and he would talk, but like real, almost like an adult you're talking to.
He doesn't have a filter,
you know. And then you have your other son,
Carter.
That's just like, I'm laid back. I want to talk to you, but I'm going to give as much as you give me. You know what I mean?
If you don't initiate, he won't.
And it's funny because then I, you know, you're my client as well. So I have dad and 2 kids, and I see your personality pouring into them. You know what I mean? And how even though they got their own personalities, I still see a little bit of you in them. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's cool to
try
see that,
guide,
you know?
but yeah, that's why like now when you cut them, I don't even go in there no more.
Yeah.
If one of them tell you they want a mohawk, give him a mohawk
Yeah.
like that. But Sarah might feel a different way about it. But I'm like, that's their time to be around a grown person that is there for them, that is looking out for them. It's not a family member. It's also not somebody that looks more like them than the people that they surround themselves with. My kids are biracial, so to see a person of color in industry doing a thing that makes them, and especially Eli, he loves his haircut.
Oh, does he?
The hard part with the
the comb over.
Can't tell him nothing. Because he'll put his hood on while he's there. I think it's because you're around. He's like, I don't want him to know I like it. But man, when we get in the car, he's like doing the thing. I'm like, yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Because some kids are kind of like they're shy.
Not that one. But yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, do they like it? Did not like it? And the parents come back like, man, they love it. They love coming here, and stuff like that. So it's cool to get those feedbacks. I
think it's good that it's not in that room, like in the open space, where they have that interaction with you, and you're allowed to ask them something and not feel like everybody's watching.
Yeah.
At first, I was kind of, I was like, man, like sometimes you like to hear the barbershop talk, but I'm like, this is better, way better.
Yeah. So
what was the idea behind that?
So personally, I still fight with that every day. I love being around people when it comes to barbering wise. Outside of barbering, I'm a whole different person. Just leave me in a room quiet and I'm cool. But like, I love the old school vibe, everybody shooting the crap and just be able to just have different conversations. So I transitioned back there for numerous reasons. I wanted the shop to grow by itself.
Okay.
And then there were younger kids. I call them kids. They're not kids. But to me, they're kids. You know what I mean? Because some of them, well, the thing is, some of them I used to cut them when they were kids.
So they're always going to have that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I look at, like I have one that I used to cut when he was 8. And now he's cutting at the shop. Like, this is crazy, to see. But 10 years later, and like, I just wanted to give them their space. And what I noticed, the clientele started developing. Certain conversations was not meant to be in the shop. Business owners talking about how they do stuff financially. Or like we talk about sometimes leadership stuff. And what happened was I could see the friction.
Yeah.
And I didn't want the client to feel uncomfortable. And I didn't want this topic or the relationship to fade out because of those things. And that's why I made the move back there. One of the reasons why, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just to be able to give the clientele what they're looking for. Because I asked, it's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about the clientele. And I asked, like, hey, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys,
like I said, it was jarring at first, but now like when I walk through it, it does seem like it's vibrant. Yeah. People are laughing and smiling. And I don't know if, I'm not going to say that they were, but it's kind of like, boss man is here. Tighten up.
Yeah,
it gave free
that.
Out there.
It gave, and I wanted to put that away finally, you know what I mean? And give it like, okay, we got to step away from that. And it's time. You got to be patient. And I was just being patient. When that time came, it came.
Seems to be working, man.
Yeah.
Seems to be working. That's what's up.
So, business-wise, man, how's that going?
Business is good. I mean, of course, we're not immune to the economy.
Yeah.
But business is good. No real issues. There's always things that need tightening up.
Yeah.
The next step, the next endeavor, the next, try to get into a master service agreement with another company. Yeah. Selling yourself.
How is because you deal with different companies.
I deal with a bunch of different companies, different.
But also, you have to lead a lot of people at once from different companies. How does that work?
I think one is building that relationship face to face, and I think ever since COVID, a lot of people have leaned into teams, and they don't like that. A lot of people are adept to personal touch. Me, I like to understand who I'm talking to, and I kind of feed off of them.
Yeah,
it's difficult when I'm doing like 5 or 6 people in a day. Like, I have to talk to this guy who may own a car company, or or car manufacturing company, and then this person is a Titan in insurance.
Different topics.
Yeah, it's different topics, but some of them move fast. Some of them move at their own pace. It's learning to, what do we call it? Code switch.
Yeah.
But not in the manner of me having to be a different person.
Right.
But it's me adjusting to the needs of my clientele. Similar to you.
Exactly. So that's what I was asking that, because I'm like, is it similar to what I do?
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Like the personalities come through my chair is different all the time.
Every time.
And I am who I am, but I also like understand and try to understand who is in front of me and what they need, you know?
Yeah. So a funny little story. So every time I went to Chicago, to one of my insurance companies, I have an office there. I still have an office there, but I would go in there and I noticed that the CEO of that company loved, like, he would always be suited down, but he'd always have on some like crazy socks, Bart Simpson, Ninja Turtles, whatever. So I do that. And I love, like, when I'm in a suit, to have something that's individual. And he saw me once, and I had on some purple socks with, I think, like a Snuffleupagus on it from Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Bonded. And that is, I think, was one of those paths to success. Now I have an inroad to other parts of his business that I never would have had that to if I didn't try to connect with that person.
Yeah.
On a
genuine
basic level, genuine thing.
You just being like, yourself,
me and him, we're the same guy. And, you know, he might be a billionaire and I'm not, but it's like, there's so much that connects us.
Yeah.
And it's trying to tap into that and finding that with everybody that you interact with. It's easier when you're around like-minded individuals, people that have similar goals, but you never know who's sitting across that room from you, what y'all have in common, and how that can develop into what we have. It's a conversation that turns into, wanting to, understand more about a person, getting, inspiration from that person, and taking that and bringing that light out into the world. So yeah.
So yeah, man. So man, I appreciate your time. You have anything you want to say before we chop it up?
I love the shop. I'm gonna continue going to the shop.
Appreciate it,
man. My kids love the shop. We got to get the kids together.
Yeah.
But for everybody out there watching, man, plug in with my boy Keven. Man.
Appreciate it.
He's the truth.
Yes, sir. All right, man.